Today's video is my February wrap up. I completely understand that I am filming this on March 1st. Hello and welcome back. Today is my February wrap up video. Things are a little bit delayed because the last week and a half of February were absolutely crazy. For this video, I am crocheting on a whip that I have going. I will show that here in just a little while. But I am crocheting on this in hopes that it will keep me from talking with my hands as much. However, that is a bit of my personality that is so low on the totem pole of things that I want to fix about myself that talking with my hands is going to be inevitable. Before I started filming the last project video, which would have been the Fat Nuggets project, my house got sick with the ick. Not the horrible ick, just the upper respiratory ick. I had decided, even though I personally was not struck down with it, I decided that I was just going to take it easy and try to do self-care in order to keep me from getting sick with it as much as possible. I started Fat Nuggets. The filming of the beginning of Fat Nuggets seemed to not want to take. Apparently, I didn't hit record. PSA, if you are trying to record yourself doing something, make sure you hit record. I kind of delayed Fat Nuggets. I had to re-record the information part of Fat Nuggets, and so I put that off until the day that I was supposed to have the video uploaded and ready to go. Anyway, so I ended up waiting, hoping that I wasn't going to be sick that day. I was not. However, halfway through the editing, I did get a phone call from my cousin. Actually, it's my husband's cousin, but I have been part of this family for 25 years, so she's my cousin. Anyway, my cousin called me to tell me that her grandmother, my husband's aunt, had passed away. So, what turned into a day of finishing filming, editing, uploading, and then working on this video did not happen that day. Now, the reason why I wanted to film this video that day was because I already knew that the next week was going to be kind of hectic. The following day, I had a toy show to go with my husband to. For those of you who don't know or are unfamiliar with the goings on in my household, my husband is into Hot Wheels, hence the reason why in my craft room in my lair I have a wall of Barbie cars, and other like miscellaneous pink and purple vehicles, and I also collect my trucks. And by my trucks, I mean 48 to 54, maybe 53. I think it's 54 though. Chevy 3100s. So anyway, I went with him to this toy show because he had a booth and he was selling, and he also likes to kind of like peruse and see what kind of other cars are up for sale, toy cars are up for sale at the shows. So I agreed to go and sit at the show. So here is footage of me at the show at our booth. I was knitting, working on my hoodie. It was me talking to a lot more people than what I normally talk to in a given day. So I was exhausted. I came home, worked on my hoodie some more, and that day was gone. For the rest of the time there, of last week, I was dealing with just everything. I was not able to make this video in time. Yes, and another thing that I have accomplished this last week is I did fix my clock, or I am still trying to fix my clock. So if anybody has any sort of tips or tricks on grandfather clocks, um, mine is I have not even figured out. I don't know a whole lot about this particular clock. I did get it from my cousin. The main issue that I'm having with it right now is that the pendulum wants to like slow down and stop. It does not stay regular. It does keep time for like a day or so, and then I have to like nudge the pendulum to keep the time to keep it going, basically. So if anyone has any ideas on what I could do to fix it, um, one thing that definitely needs I now that I'm looking at it from this angle, I do see that it probably does need some shims under it to level it. Maybe that's the problem. But if anyone has any ideas on what could be going on with my clock, I would definitely take some suggestions. Works in progress. As you could tell, I am still working on that hoodie. I had to frog it. I believe I had mentioned that last month for the wrap up, but I did have to I got to the splitting for the sleeves and adding the sleeves. And when I put it on, I was not happy with where the raglan increases were happening. So I frogged, redid my math, and thus I am now finishing up the yoke. I believe, if I am thinking correctly, either 4 or 5 rounds away from splitting for the sleeves again. Hopefully, when I do this, I find it correct enough to continue on with the body. Because quite frankly, I'm starting to get to that point with that project that I am wanting to get onto something else. Hence the reason why I am working on a different project. Technically, I really don't have to have the pattern for this made up until probably September, I'm thinking. So I do have some time to breathe on that. Another work in progress, as I have shown a little bit of it, is I ended up getting a request, a commission for a scarf. I got kind of an idea of what they wanted, and I started on this particular scarf. This is a scarf that I have wanted to make for a while because I was thinking about it and I was like, well, if I did it this way, I think it would be cute. So let me quickly finish this row. If you know, you know. This is the scarf I am working on. Um, yeah, look, he's got little beady eyes. I'm gotten a pretty good go on it so far. I think the last time I measured, I had 9 more inches to crochet before I put on his back legs and start his tail. So I'm hoping that I get this done tonight. Get it done, tails hid, finishing touches, get it packed up and out for shipping tomorrow. For finished objects, I have been working so hard on the hoodie that I have not finished anything other than what you have seen me finish on camera. So you saw me do the scrappy script number 5. I'm halfway through that blanket as of currently. And I also did the Fat Nuggets project. I have shared Fat Nuggets, the video on of Fat Nuggets here on YouTube, and I also shared the same short that I did on my shorts channel. I shared on like cross platform. It seems like on every platform I have gotten a request for the pattern. I'm not sure if this is someone who like watches me cross platform. However, it is enough attention for me to now think it's a good idea to write up that pattern. So I am going to be working on that pattern for March. Hopefully I will have it done. I'm hoping to have it done the first part of April. I am going to have that available on my Ko-fi, I believe is how you pronounce it. So I will give you an update as to how that particular pattern is coming along later in March. I can get on with the yarn totals. So in the month of February, I only finished those 2 projects, enough to count the yarn usage in the yarn usage goal. So, without further ado, strip number 5 was an oddball. Most of the other strips came weighed in at 134 grams. This particular strip weighed in at 128 grams. So 128 grams for strip number 5. For Fat Nuggets took 3 of the 4 colors that I had shown in the video. So those colors were light pink, lippy, and black. The total on that particular project was on my phone because I did not get the total written down for some reason. So for Fat Nuggets used 139 grams of yarn. So that brought me to a monthly total, or a month total, for February of 267 grams used, which brings the series total to 4,802 grams, which is now leaving me with 198 grams left to finish up for the month of March in order to reach my 5,000 gram goal for 6 months. Like I had said, I believe in January, I am going to kind of meld this into how many grams can I use in 2026. For the year of 2026, so far, I have used 742 grams of yarn. So I will add Marches to that, as well as just continue on 2026 after I finish this 6-month challenge. I believe I can do that The raccoon scarf that I am working on currently is all yarn from my stash. So that is a win because that is going to be counted as stash. I also have a couple other pattern like things that I would like to do, not to mention the fact that there is at least one more strip to do before the scrap blanket before March is over. If you did reach this point in the video, please comment a smiley face at that in the comments so that way I know that you made it this far in the video. So I hope that you liked this little chatty wrap up. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe if you have not. I am still hoping to squeak out 500 subscribers by my birthday. However, that is next week. So I am not sure if I'm going to get there. I do have one more video to do before then, but I am still would love to have you here if you are not already subscribed. And until next time, bye.